Hi, I'm Patti LuPone.
Hi, I'm Mandy Patinkin.
We have a show together.
It's called An Evening with Patti LuPone and Mandy Patinkin, and it's at the Barrymore, the Barrymore Theatre.
What's your favorite duet to sing with Patti, and why?
All of them. I love singing all of them because I love being with her. I love singing with her. I never know what's going to happen next. It's just a thrill. Come up and try it sometime. Company with the New York Philharmonic was the greatest thing I've seen in my life.
Wow.
What was the hardest part about taking on such an iconic role as Joanne? Not to mention The Ladies Who Lunch.
I sang The Ladies Who Lunch in front of the woman that originated the song, Elaine Stritch, at Stephen Sondheim's 80th birthday party. And it wasn't intimidating. It was actually thrilling to do it with her right there. I don't think it's a very good idea to start out that way in any play, you know, being scared or intimidated because somebody else has done it before you and done it brilliantly. You are so great in Homeland. In real life, do you think you would make a good spy?
Would I make a good spy? No, because I do not like to lie. And I think spies intrinsically have to be great liars. So I don't want to be a spy for anything in the world. You've talked about being haunted by the ghost of Eva Peron numerous times. Do you have any more recent theater ghost stories?
And the Belasco. I was singing Invisible, and Philip Spate, who was one of the, I don't know what you'd call a Spanish cop, they said they saw a blue orb in the mezzanine. And it was not Belasco. Apparently some woman fell down an elevator shaft, and they said that's her haunting the theater. What is your current musical theater dream role?
Being on Broadway with Patti LuPone and An Evening with Patti LuPone and Mandy Patinkin. And I get to have that dream come true every night. And when we're finished here in New York, we go to Kansas City, and then we go somewhere else, and then we go somewhere else, and then we go somewhere else, until we die.
Until we die. We started talking about a new show backstage, right?
Yep.
Before
we got some good ideas for a new show, but I'm not going to tell you now.
What is the most memorable comment you ever got from Stephen Sondheim?
This guy has given me this unbelievable reservoir of wishes to say over and over and over again that fill my heart and soul, that I try to live by, that I try to remember. So there I am at the Kennedy Center. Is he coming tonight? Is he coming this night? And I'm a nervous wreck all the time. So I'm trying not to be nervous tonight, and India didn't come tonight. And I'm nervous, I think he's there. And then finally, after so many nights of being so nervous, I was finished being nervous. I was just exhausted, and that was the night he came. Thank God.
Oh, well, that's kind of great.
And my kids were there, and everything was there. And then and he came, and they come into my dressing room. And they said, "Steve's here." Oh my God! I was just relaxed. I was grateful because I was relaxed, and I wasn't self-conscious. I wasn't one of my nervous nights. And where is he? He's in the bathroom. He said he needed to compose himself. And he was overwhelmed with the way we put the material together and how we felt his stuff. And then he came in the room, just him and me, and he closed the door, and he just wept. And we held each other. And I guess that was one of the holiest moments of my life.
Wow.
Who was more intense, you or Mandy?
Mandy.
Bullshit!
Mandy.
That's not true.
Me. Together we're a firestorm.
If you had to play, Patti, one of the roles Mandy has played over his career, which one would you choose and why? Good question.
Yeah, really. You know, I have to say, Richard, I don't think in those terms. I mean, I just thought about, remember The Knife? Remember the musical The Knife?
Yeah,
that was such an interesting, that would be interesting to do the reversal, to be the female turning into, the female play the male turning into the female.
Or you could have been a male and then turned into the female.
Right,
you could have started as a male. What's the best piece of advice you have ever received?
Oh, that's tough because there's so many people that have such, you know, that are, that say incredible things that that you take in. And you know, Mandy and I just did something for a teacher at school at Juilliard of ours who unfortunately had a stroke, and one of his other students had a 5x8 card of the best things that Jerry Friedman said. And I wanted that card just to remember all of the great advice, but I've been given great advice by so many people that I can't really distill it into one remark. I can only say that if I have listened, it's led me to where I am now. And I hope that I have listened to the best advice that the great teachers have taught me. Can you describe your first memory of Patti? What was it like when you first met her? Any lasting first impressions?
I was an usher at the Good Shepherd Faith Church next to the Juilliard School of Drama. William Hurt and I were in group 4. Patti was in group 1 with the acting company, and we were asked from our group to be ushers for the acting company's first season. So the first time I saw Patti was in a play called School for Scandal. She had a big beauty mark on her face and the most extraordinary breasts. And that were, you know...
Because it was a restoration shelf built into the dress.
I didn't care why. I was grateful for the shelf. And I wanted to put my coffee cup on it. So, and I was quite stunned, not just by her extraordinary presence, but her incredible gifts. And then there were many other opportunities to see her. I remember in The Robber Bridegroom also there was some...
Nude things.
So, yeah, which was great. I love nudity.
Do you plan to see the revival of Evita? How do you feel when shows you've done get revived?
I will absolutely see the revival of Evita. I never got to see it when we were in it. My only other experience of seeing a show that I'd been in was seeing the revival of Sunday in the Park with George, which I was just quite devastated by. I thought it was extraordinary. I went backstage and I couldn't even speak. I was a puddle of tears. I couldn't get over what James and Stephen had written. You know, when you're in the throes of doing it, you have one job. When you're in the throes of watching it, you have another job. And I couldn't get over what I got to be a part of. And I just was overwhelmed with emotion.
Yeah, your production, I didn't see that. What
well, this was one that they did in London, and then they brought it here.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
From the Meunier Chocolate Factory. And it was just beautiful. And I was thrilled. So I can't wait to see Evita.
Your show has an insanely eclectic song collection. What drove you to pick some of the more unusual choices?
We look for songs that tell the story of two people who find each other and go through everything that someone might go through in life. And that's what we looked for. So we'd find this song or that song, and things would change as we went along the way. And recently we put in a new piece for the Broadway run, a song that Patti sings, which I just love. And one of my favorite moments of the show is when I'm not even on stage, when I'm just sitting off stage listening to her sing, you know, I Want a Man, which I just love. And we had a little piece that went before that where, you know, it just wasn't, you know, it wasn't thrilling either one of us. And Patti had this instinct to say something else there, and she came up with this idea, and it just hit the nerve. I noticed in one interview you mentioned wanting to throw your underwear at Hugh Jackman. Understandably, he's a hottie. What other actors have you wanted to throw your underwear at? It's a quick answer, Patti, quick.
Yeah, Al Pacino, Bobby De Niro, Mandy Patinkin.
There you go.
Well, thank you very much for asking the questions. Very good questions. Very smart people out there.
Thank you. We loved your questions. Thank you for caring about the theater. Please come see our show at the Ethel Barrymore, and go see every show you can, off Broadway, on Broadway, every theater, anywhere in the world.